Hello everybody and welcome back to Suzerain with your host, Parallax. My goodness, this game is fantastic. I love it. Can't get it out of my head. But there is disapproval in the comments section. Someone has equated my running of this country to that of a camel putting its nose underneath the flap of a tent. Whereupon I believe the idea is that the camel, now privy to the goings-on inside the tent, will not relinquish his position easily. He makes this in reference to our -3 budget. Well, this is what's going to happen, okay? We're in a world of poo-poo, okay? We're in a nation of poo-poo, and we're going to spend some money, and we're going to right some wrongs, and eventually that's going to get to not negative, but to a positive. That's right, a surplus. A surplus is what will happen eventually, okay? And everybody who hangs out with me now and believes in the process, right? Who believes in the good times and the bad times, they'll be rewarded with beautiful farmland and Narbel, perhaps on the river, the Goat River, the River Goat, beautiful farmland. That's where they will be. Others who don't believe me, they'll be living over here in what sounds horrible. Oh, you know what? We're not even giving you a highway. Right here in the middle of nowhere. Jena. That's right. You'll be living in Jena. You want to go to a Walmart? It's a 6-hour drive. Either to Yen, or all the way over here to Sarna. Okay? Or you can go into Melodia, and you can go to a Trader Joe's, where the price is jacked all the way up. Okay? You gotta make a choice. You make a choice, people. Farmland in Narbel, or 6-hour drive to Walmart in Jena. It's all on you, okay? I can't make it for you. Can't do it for you. All kidding aside, thank you so much for watching the video. I am so excited to see so many people commenting and watching this video. This is a great game. I love it. I've never experienced a game like this before. Always management games, but never this like chess move type game here. And you know, we've pissed off some players. I am concerned that they have not done something more drastic. I guess they have been giving me the benefit of the doubt to work with me, but now that I have, you know, shown my hand as to three, I've rejected them twice or thrice. Excuse me. They first wanted this fasty, speedy railway, and we said no to that. Then they wanted us to pick their people who built this highway, and we said no to that. And then they wanted us to give them a tax break on the budget, and we said no to that. So I assume that storm clouds are brewing. Now this is the lady that controls the right wing and central, the moderate people in our party, and she's going to be the one that tells us that all of our reforms that we want to do, they're just not gonna work. All right, here we go. I arrived at the Grand National Assembly, which was only a 5-minute drive away from the palace. Today I had a private meeting with Gloria. We went to her. She didn't come to us. That sucks. It'd be really nice if she came to us. One of the leading figures of the USP to get her approval for the proposal. She was also key in reaching 150 signatures to propose the new constitution, as she had extensive control over our party's conservative and moderate wings. As I walked through the corridors of the Grand National Assembly, I was confronted by my memories of the historic building. Despite being a member of the assembly not long ago, it now felt like the distant past. I walked into the left wing of the assembly, which currently acted as the quarters of the USP. Ooh. Does that make sense to have a political party housed inside the assembly building? It seemed like it should be partisan. Kind of goes to show you the reach of the USP. Gloria's office was the first one inside. I knocked on the door and entered. Here I am. Hello, Gloria. Good morning, miss. Let's keep this professional. Good to see you here, Mr. Rain. Oh, and also I have been told that I am vain and that Mr. Rain is a 100% okay way to address a president. I don't know, man. I've always heard of President Bush, President Obama, President Reagan. I've never heard of Mr. Obama or Mr. Bush. But that's just me. I'm an American. Maybe it's different elsewhere in the world. Who knows? I received my education in America. I have no idea what happens outside the borders of this country. Absolutely zero. It was a small, neatly organized office. There were many figures, photos, and plants around the place. It had a homely feel, unlike my own assembly office when I had worked there. She's comfortable here. To say, the plants symbolize the roots, the small figurines, the pond that she uses, and the photos, her legacy, right? In a homey feel, because this is her house, and we need to address her and her house in a certain fashion. See, that's called good writing. They're showing us, they're not telling us, okay? They're showing us her personality. On her gesture, I took a seat. The chair was very comfortable. How are you doing? I love what you have done with the office. I am fine, Mr. Rain. How are you? I'm very happy to see you. It's been a while. I'm fine too. Thank you. As good as can be. Very happy to see you. It has been a while. Indeed, Mr. President. She smiled. So, how does a presidential chair compare to the ones in the assembly? The chair is fine, but the work that comes with it is insane. Not as good as you imagine. It's better. What can I say? I don't like any of these responses because, again, I don't want to be too cordial with her. I don't want to say that the work is insane because that shows weakness. Not as good as you can imagine also shows weakness, but this right here is arrogance. So, between the choice of weakness, and arrogance, what do you think? Weakness, and arrogance. See, this right here, this right here shows our weakness with respect to the work, and this shows our weakness with respect to how pampered we thought we would be, right? So this says that we're a little incompetent because we can't handle the stress, and this right here thinks that we're too good for our office. So this right here is weakness and arrogance. Well, let's go with the French, all right? This was in Patton, the movie. I've done it once before. L'audace, toujours l'audace. Audacity, always audacity. Well, you knew about that, didn't you? Anyway, let's keep this simple, Mr. Rain. We both know. And see, I bet they wrote that they wrote that in there just so she could kind of peck at you a little bit so you'd be on the back foot with her, right? She looks our age, really. We both know why we are here. You want me to give you your support. I don't see why the backbone of the USP would support your rushed reforms. Don't you realize they go directly against the wishes of the founder of this party and the state? The reforms are not against anyone. It's all in the name of democracy. My reforms are very critical for the future of Sorland. In the name of democracy, even though you owe everything to Colonel Saul, I think you never liked him nor the party he built. There's nothing personal about this. I would never betray our party. How dare you suggest I never liked him? I'm a proud Soilist. There's nothing personal about this. Whatever you intend to do, you will be facing quite the opposition. That's all I can say. I'm sure we can make a deal. Perhaps I can change your thoughts on the matter with some well-placed investments. You must understand that these reforms are a necessity. Let me explain. Here's the deal. No matter how we explain this, she gets paid to not understand. This woman gets paid and has her comfy chair in her office to not understand these reforms. You understand? So there's no way of changing her mind. I don't know anything about her. I'm just... If the game is good, they'll make her unmalleable. We gotta make a deal. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to one party and say, we're going to support you all the way on this. We go to the other party. They're going to push back. We're going to find the happy median ground, and we're going to get what we need to move forward. The other party isn't going to get their wish list. She's not going to get her wish list. Everybody's going to have to compromise, and that's going to make everybody else in this country have a seat at the table. The national unrest is going to go down because people realize that they have another means to express their voice instead of going onto the streets and inciting violence and or getting arrested and losing their monetary foothold or their jobs. So we're going to do it. I'm not so sure about that, especially when you're trying to decrease the electoral threshold. You must know this will mean bringing the communists into the assembly. You probably have a deal with either of them, or maybe the blah blah blah. Friends seem to be positive about giving you support too. The decrease is important to democratize our elections. I have no deal with anyone. You're pointing fingers without even thinking. I can reconsider the decrease in the threshold. We're not going to do that. The decrease is important to democratize our election. And I don't even know, like if I said I don't have a deal with anybody, she's probably not going to believe me. And it takes the conversation away from talking about the decrease, the threshold. Now it gets into whose deal do you have? And I don't want to talk about like deals or no deals. I want to keep on this. Even though I don't think that I can change her mind, I do think a deal can be brokered. But she's not going to care if you can't prove a negative, right? So there's no reason going with this one. I don't know how your acts can even be justified inside the USP. These are our laws, I guess. I do not support an election threshold of 8%. This sets a dangerous situation for us, as both the WPB and the CPS will gain more power. I'd rather leave the threshold as it is. I'm not going to change the reform. It is not up to you. My proposal threshold stays. What will ensure your support? There we go. Now let's get to what she wants. I don't know what to say before seeing a commitment from you, Mr. Rain. So she wants me to go ahead and commit to a change before she's even going to tell me what she wants. First, I need to know if I'll have your support. The same goes for me. Yeah, it is. I don't know if I can promise anything before I see action from you, especially with all these issues you're creating for the party. You should at least remove the changes to the House, to the member of honor laws, or there will be no further discussion. You can't just target our founder and expect our support. If this point is not removed, expect a grand opposition. This is not about him. Why are you against all of this? I was thinking we could work together. I mean, she said it. She said that there would be no deal unless he gets immunity. He keeps his immunity, rather. Come on, work with me. I'm trying my best to work with you, Mr. President. You are not listening to your own party members, so you're not removing the clause from the proposal. Ugh. Grand opposition. Grand opposition. They hold a lot of seats. I don't even know if I could get $70, and I have 50. I only have 50 signatures, and there are 70 here. So 20 of these people are so diehard they won't even sign it unless they get more concessions. Then 130 of these people, she's doing the moderates and she's doing the right wing. Is it fair to say that this 130 is divided by 3? Is it fair to say that 130 is divided by like 1/3 is right wing, 1/3 is middle, and 1/3 is liberal? That gets us 43 more votes if that's true. 44. No, 43. 44 or 43. Maybe 42. I don't know. And we have 50. That gets us to 93. And she does not... Man, it'd be so much better if that Solus guy was dead. We wouldn't have to worry about this crap. We're at 50. That'll give us 40. That'll be 90. We need 100. We need. Is it 150? We need 60 more friggin' votes, man. We would need all the moderates on board and some of the right wing. Ugh. And the economy's in the shitter. The common people don't even like me. Oh, da 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 da. Let's see what's the other thing we can say. Fine, I'll remove the change to the member laws of proposal. No, this is too important for me, but if I remove the change to the threshold, what if I, God, she wants one of them gone. Well, you know what? I think this is what we did, right? I think we did this on purpose. I think we put two of these out there so that we would concede on one, and then we'd be like, look, man, we conceded on one, you know, now yada yada. So, and she said the communists and the socialists, right? That's who she said. Who is this? Communist Party. Holy crap. These are the people who were like blowing up stuff. I don't want communists, I want socialists. I don't know, man. I don't know. The only bad thing about this, I mean, I don't even know who I'm working with anymore. Let me look at this picture again. Leader of the opposition and chairman of PFJP. Did you talk about the PFJP at some point up here? No. Liberalism and social democracy in the country. Yeah, so I like these people. And what support do they have? Those are the people I'm going for already. So who are the red people here? Who's the NFP? Ultra-conservative political party. It'd be nice if they tell me what color they are. They're the white color? There's no white color. Independents. There's 10 independents. There are these people, and then there are these people. So we're at 50 right now. So if we had... Let's say, all right, so it looks like we have 2/3 of the 70, right? What's 2/3 of 70? Pull out a calculator here. That's 46. Okay, so we have the 50 because we have 2/3 of the PFJP, a little over 2/3. So I assume we're going to get 2/3. I assume we'll only get 1/3 of this party. So what's 1/3? That's 13. Let's just say we're going to get 10 more votes from the NFP. That brings us from 50 to 60. We're going to get 40 from our own party. That brings us up to 100. And then those 10 independents, we'll get 1/3 of the 10 independents, so we'll get 3 of those. So it brings it to 103. So we need 47 more signatures from moderates. Now, moderates are going to want the threshold, and the ultra-conservatives are going to want the... Okay, perfect. So yeah, let's look at it that way. The people who are super-duper committed to Solus are going to be the ones who want him protected above anything else, because he's like a cult of personality. These people will worship him, right? Changing the threshold will be good for the moderates, because the moderates want to hold on to their seats, right? So if we give into this reform, then we're gonna get some moderate people coming to our side. If we give into this reform, we're going to get the ultra conservatives to come in on our side. Interesting. And we don't want these people in Congress, in the assembly anyway, so F these people. The only thing I'm really thinking about doing is changing it from 8 back up to 10% to get their support. I really hate this because I want to keep talking to her, and I want to figure out what everything is that she wants, and then I want to make a decision at the end. I don't like if I say no, this is too important. Oh, she's asking, I do not support an election threshold of 8%. This is a dangerous precedent. Get more power. I don't know. Oh, I need to go all the way down here. Okay, so you're not removing the clause from the proposal. I'm trying my best to work with you, Mr. President, yet you're not listening to your own party members. Give me one moment. I got a visitor. Okay, we're back. So you're not removing the clause from the proposal. I'm trying to work best with you, Mr. President, yet you're not listening to your own party members. Yeah, I mean, that kind of hurts, right? Because, like, I understand that these are the people who got me elected. These are the people who worked hard for me. It's my own political party. But the weird thing is, like, the game... Why would they nominate me? Like, why would I don't know. If they were sitting down and they were talking to me, they'd be like, yeah, this guy probably... I mean, I'm probably about as far left-leaning in the party as they possibly can be. So why they went with me... I don't know. I'll tell you why. They went with me because I was electable, right? They know that the whole country is leaning left. Well, not the whole country, but the country needs to be leaning left because it needs to be brought into the modern era. And they're too chicken shit to do it themselves, right? None of these people, this woman, the other minister, Louisa, whatever her name is, like, she's not going to go against Sol. He's still alive, and it's all these people here who are just like, oh, we're not going to go against him, but we got to win an election, so let's find somebody who, you know, kind of believes what everybody in the country wants to believe, and we'll get him out there. And now that I start making these changes, they're like, what are you doing? You weren't elected to change things for the will of the people. You know what? No. F you. It seems you don't understand. All right, Mr. President, I'm sorry. I won't be able to help you. I wish you luck gathering the signatures you need. She stood up suddenly. I must get back to work. Thanks for stopping by. She extended her hand for a handshake. I'm not going to go anywhere until you give me the signatures. You're going to play hardball now? You're going to tell her that we're the president of this country, and that this country needs to move in this direction, and that she's going to help us? Let's see what happens. Please do not humiliate yourself further, Mr. President. Well, that didn't go. I thought it would be more like she wants to talk to us more and be like, okay, what do you want? But now we can just be a jerk, right? See, here's the thing. Like, if we were Saul, imagine this woman, right? Imagine she's in the assembly, she's whatever, and imagine she's talking to Saul, not the Saul that she knows now, the Colonel Saul when he was younger. Imagine she's talking to him. This is what he would have said. He would have done this to her, and he would have broken her, he would have shamed her, he would have done something horrible to her, and he would have gotten his way. Right? That's why people want the immunity to end, is because they want to be able to take him to court for the horrible things he did. So I'm not going to be like him, but at the same time, like, this is the guy who would... I don't know. People break my heart. Alright, well, remember when we first started playing this game, we said we were trying to get shot? Yeah, okay. There you go. Well, here we go. Albin and the reformist wing was my last hope to get the needed 150 signatures for the proposal. I left her room. Yeah. Even then, it looked quite uncertain if I would get 166 votes in the assembly. I went outside. Sergei drove me back to the palace where I met Lucian and told him the bad news. That could have gone better. Oh, man. Oh, man. What happens if our reforms get defeated and we've pissed off the party? We're going to be a one-hit wonder? Well, history will judge us in a fair light. We tried. We tried to turn the country over and give it a fresh start. Alright. Hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and meet with this guy, and we can just go ahead and give him every single thing he wants, because now he holds all the cards. If that woman wasn't going to do anything for us, then there's no reason for us not to give in to this guy and give him every single thing he wants. Because other than that, like, what would happen? Oh, he's a member of USB. Oh, good. Oh, that's so great. Oh, man, look at that. That's our party, isn't it? United Sorland? Is that our political party? Please just tell me that he's the Yeah, she's the speaker. That's you. Yeah. That's our party too. Oh, thank goodness. We're still in our own party. We're just in the, um, we're just in the, we were in the moderate. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We got it. We got it. We're gonna give this guy everything he wants. After our meeting with Gloria and further discussion with the party and my cabinet, it was time to talk to Albin and to get the reformist wing to support the proposal. I also plan to finally present a more fleshed out proposal and declare our agenda to the party. After our meeting, I walked into the left wing of the assembly and entered the quarters. Oh, on the same day. When I reached the meeting hall, I saw many of our members conversing inside. After taking a glimpse inside, I went back to the corridor to look for the office of Albin, which was around the back of the palace. Palace? Should it be the assembly? When I reached his room, I knocked and entered his door. Welcome, Mr. President. The whole room was surrounded by bookshelves packed with files and papers. It was an small office with books and dossiers lying on every corner. It felt claustrophobic. On his gesture, I took a seat. How is everything going, Mr. Calvin? It's been busy. The party has been working very hard, Mr. President. Thank you for asking. How is it going for you in the palace? It's feeling pretty good. Always positive. That's great to hear. I want to express my gratitude for passing the Workers' Rights Act. It is one of my most comprehensive and successful political efforts. The workers' revolution will begin with small steps. It was the right thing to do because our workers were suffering for decades. The party effort had to be supported. You and I see eye to eye on many subjects, including this one. Indeed, the people will credit your administration and the party for a positive change in their lives. The businesses will share with the burden with the state, but it is a change that they have to abide by. Anyway, sir, let's talk about the proposal. Thanks for coming here for my input, because there are some subjects where Gloria and I don't see eye to eye. I have to say that most of the progressives were already starting to warm up to you. Your attempt at changing the Constitution created quite a bit of excitement. One could dare to say an excitement that has been felt since the 30s. I've already read the proposal you've made. It looks pretty good. No surprise that Ms. Turner didn't give her support. Look, Mr. President, I'm on the same side as you. I won't create any problems. That's good to know. Thank you, Mr. Calvin. Any help from you is much appreciative. He looked down at the proposal. It's looking good. I will support the proposal and get the needed signatures from our wing. I believe the reformist votes that I have will be very important to you. Who knows, maybe you'll consider me for a job in the government in the future for this. I'll be expecting your votes, Mr. Calvin. Of course. I will talk to my guys shortly. I'll have their signatures soon. Thank you, Mr. Calvin. See you in the conference room, Mr. President. I left the room and went back to the corridor. The meeting had exhausted me. I went to the restaurant at the assembly to get something to eat while conversing with other members of our party. I saw Albin talking to his people in the distance. After a while, the preparations for the conference began, and I went back into the conference hall and prepared my notes for the speech I was going to make. It took time to get all the present members of the party inside the hall. Gloria announced me from the stands. I walked up to the stands and everybody in the room started clapping. Ladies and gentlemen of the party, dear members of the assembly, brothers and sisters of United Sorland. Dear members of the assembly, I came here today to announce the agenda for the future of our country. I started my speech with the reasons for the change to the Constitution. Our system and institutions have increasingly become undemocratic. The Supreme Court is blocking the future. The people of Sorland have spoken. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to start off negative. I want to start off with something positive and then go negative and then end on a positive. It's called a compliment sandwich. People of Sorland have spoken. Oh my God. Okay, fine. They blame our institutions and our system and want change. Can you blame the people? Haven't we had enough with the flaws of our Constitution? We must listen to their wishes and get their trust in Sorland back. There's missing a 2 there, I think. I paused as they started clapping and continued. Talk about democracy. Talk about why USB needs this to survive the next election. Target the old guards and the Supreme Court. Oh, do I want to do that? Do I really want to do that? Oh man, I really don't want to like point fingers and blame people. Not this early. Like when they attack me, then I want to. Do I want to be responsive or do I want to be proactive? Hmm. We're gonna hit them with the truth, man. The truth never ever hurts. We're gonna tell these people that the people of this country to listen to. Because here's what's gonna happen. If either we're gonna keep going down this road where we're gonna keep sequestering people, and then finally the communists and the socialists and the fascists are just gonna explode, and they're gonna just try to tear this country apart because there's nothing left. We're gonna back them into a corner. They're gonna have nothing left, and they're gonna go ballistic. Or we can get everybody in this country to go, you know what? The United Sortland Party, that's the best party. They listen to the people, they protect the people, and they grow the economy. That's the only thing that we can do, man. And Solus was a good guy, but he got old, something happened, and he turned inward. And he started thinking about just himself instead of thinking about the people. So talk about why USP needs us to survive the next election. I brought attention to the people's protest and to the slight decrease in the popularity of USP. I explained how our proposal will only be beneficial for everybody. The moderates that sat in the center started applauding. That's good. Oh, that's so good. Later, I explained the contents of the new Constitution and asked for their full support for the proposal. Ask for their votes. I asked for each and every member's vote to make the change together. The reformist swing on the left stood up and started clapping loudly after Alvin made a sign. I saluted everybody in the room one last time and bid them farewell before leaving the stand. I walked outside the assembly and back to the palace where I was shot. Okay. The continue button. Oh my goodness, the continue button. Oh my goodness. Man, I really wanted to talk about the healthcare bill, and I really wanted to like open up healthcare to private industry to get that down to a -2. Oh, going into this with a -3. Come on, economy. Come on, economy. Drum roll. I can do it better. Drum roll. We can do it. Drum roll. Better economy. Balance of power in Eastern Maricopa. The region we live in is this Maricopa. The balance of power in Eastern Maricopa. Oh man. How's my highway? Not done yet? More progress? Nope. Only 2 newspapers? Interesting. What do the 2 newspapers say here? Geopolitical. Rain to meet with and Horton. Still at -3 and the economy is still boned. Portland is embarking on a great geopolitical gamble with a new trade initiative organized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The hope is that the solidification of relationship with an old ally and the troublesome namer Whelan. Each of these countries have different agendas, which will create some difficulties for President Rain. PM Van Horten, who has elected through a powerful democratic movement, wants to reimagine trade with Sorland, while President Wynn is looking for new foreign investments and security cooperation against rebellious. Okay. Dear reader, I ask you this. What year are we in? 1880s, 1920s? The matter I am writing about is, of course, the mandatory military service again. In times when there is no active wars, why do we still have these archaic conscription laws? Let me answer that. It's become someone profits from it. Not only does this make the warmongering soulless happy, it also works out for large defense corporations. Okay, whatever. I like the idea of general conscription at the age of 18, like after high school. I think that's great for men and women. It gives you've been in education, you've been in this like free state where you get to learn and you get to explore, you get to ask questions, you get to really push the balance of authority, and it would be really good to balance that out with years of service and rock hard like dedication to an idea, you know, where you don't really get to pick when you get up or what you're doing or what class you're going to take or what professor you're going to get. Like it would be a great balance. And Socrates said it himself. He said that no man should be a stranger to thought or to the physical manifestation of his body. He said anyone who separates the intelligent into weaklings, and the dumb into brutes. He said any society that does that will have its thinking done by cowards, and it'll have its fighting done by morons. So there you go. But we're at 35 minutes. I'm not going to click on any of these. We're going to start this up the next time that we're together. Hopefully we have enough signatures to get this thing. 166, I think, is what we need to get through the assembly. Hopefully we have those. No news. We read the newspapers. We have nothing else here. The next time we come back, we're going to start fresh and clean. Love this game. Can't wait to see you guys again. Thank you for watching today. And I want to appreciate all of you who comment and you like the video. I noticed that a couple of days ago. I was like, man, every single one of my videos gets a comment, and every single one of the videos at least gets like 1 or 2 likes. So for those people out there who are always commenting and you're always liking, thank you very much. I appreciate you doing that. It does help grow the channel. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Have a great day, everybody. See you next time.